Hey, welcome back to the show, Survivors.
Cheers.
We have one hell of a show tonight. We're going to be talking about Anthony Todt. And I'll let Camille go into all the details here in a little while, but this is going to be unbelievable. You're going to want to stay tuned. All right, hey, first things, let's go into the beer moment.
So I got a Kona, which I think most people like Kona. It's a Gold Cliff IPA, and it's supposed to be made with
Beer.
well, like pineapple. But I'm digging the color.
Yeah,
Holy
oh
shit!
my God.
Now that's a beer color if I've ever seen one.
The white wall,
Right?
Yeah, wow.
That's a
Hey, you reckon why it's called Gold IPA?
right? Yeah. So
I taste no pineapple in this at all. Maybe like this much, maybe.
that's
but
definitely an IPA. So
I'll give this a 6.5 because it tastes really good. I'm just not an IPA guy, and you guys already know that. So
yeah, I'm not an IPA guy. I don't know why people are IPA guys, because IPAs are horrible.
or gals.
Or gals, right? Sorry, I don't want to be a misogynist.
Where's John?
John is at some kind of furry convention or a brony convention or something, but we miss him greatly because he's always that. So LT is that.
Here's the John. Sorry, John.
LT is on that end of the spectrum, the more logical, straight, and I'm usually the drunk side, and
Yeah.
John's usually kind of rides the middle. So we definitely miss John.
Meaning it takes a lot more to get John drunk. I don't know why that is.
I
Is it
didn't
because he's
say that.
Irish? Is
I
it
didn't
because he
say that
drinks-
at all.
Drinks more than us, or is it just because he can handle his liquor? Who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, we miss you, John. We want you back. We will see you in a couple of episodes. Thank you.
Hey, who's our beer moment brought to us by?
It is brought. If you don't know, we
It's
already
brought to us by Kenny's Groceries.
Kenny's Groceries, located at the intersection of French Avenue and 1792, and we appreciate Kenny's Grocery. And oh my gosh, if you want every beer, you're like, oh, you know what, I want a whip beer. Oh, there it is. So Kenny's Grocery, we love you guys, and thank you very much.
Wines, ciders, you name it, they've got it. They even got. I looked the other day to see if they had Boone's Farm.
Yeah,
Strawberry Hill.
of course they do.
No, they didn't
No?
have it, bro.
Really?
They did not have it.
So they're fancy schmancy.
Yeah, they're fancier than Boone's Farm. All right, our next sponsors, special shout out to Kristen and Tom Clem of Exit Advantage Realty. And they are absolutely wonderful folks. Tom was a Marine.
Is a Marine.
He's not a Marine anymore because
Is a
he's
Marine.
a police officer. He's a former Marine, which he told me.
Once a
that's-
Marine, always a Marine.
Whatever. Can I talk now?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And also Clem
I threw him
Property
off, right?
Investments. You did.
I
Property
apologize.
Investments. If you're willing to sell, if you're wanting to sell, quick sale, or just get out of your house and you need some cash for it, Tom is there for you to help you guys out. Kristen, I forgot to mention, Kristen was a teacher for many, many years, and she's been in the real estate business now for several years doing this. She is absolutely fantastic. I know several people who have bought homes through them, and they could not have been happier. So thank you guys very much for being our sponsors. We really appreciate it. And last but not least, who made this whole computer and all this stuff possible for us, CNR Constructors, LLC.
Man, you guys have been busy.
We have been busy. They are a general contractor. I work for them out of Central Florida, and home improvements, home builder. Now we're moving into that area now. By the end of the year, we hope to have a couple of truck homes that we can actually take people to and show. But if you have a lot and you have the property and you have the plans, or we can even help you with the plans, we're ready to build your new home. CNR Constructors. look down below for all of the information, guys. It's
All I know,
below.
all I know is if you're busy, that's a good thing that they're doing good work.
It is. They're very, very busy.
All right, so we're going to talk about our fallen officers this year. We have 92 officers, which is any officers is bad. We've had 8 canine officers killed, and these canines, if you don't know, they're sent in situations that cops don't want to go into, and it's very sad. But oftentimes they're like, go get them, and these canines save officers' lives, and they're killed through stabbing, shootings, all these things, trying to catch the bad guy. So appreciate your canine officer, or your canines, not the officers, but the canines both. We've lost 2. We've lost 8. But all categories, the good news is all categories are either down or even from last year.
Fantastic.
So, right.
Fantastic.
I have a trivia question. So,
Trivia.
so for a classic,
because this is the classic, and oops, wrong side. And this is the new logo here.
Yep.
But this is a classic.
we still have some left. We're not many. We're going to switch over. But if you want a classic Surviving the Badge sticker, be the first to answer correctly. And
in the comments below.
when I was researching this, I'm like, what the hell? Did you know, LT? Did you know that the very first police vehicle, was an electric car?
Oh, shit.
No shit. You know how everybody's like, oh, we need to move to electric. We need to move to electric.
So we were already there and we went backwards.
Absolutely.
And now we're going,
The first police car / vehicle in America showed up in 1899 and was in fact an electric vehicle.
wow.
Right. What agency was the first to have a police vehicle in 1899? What was the first police agency to have a police car? I say police car, but it's more of a vehicle in 1899. The first one to put in the comments section the correct answer of what police agency employed this police vehicle, the first police vehicle in 1899, gets a classic, and LT puts them out as soon as we get an answer.
Yeah,
throws them out in the mail.
What I'll do is I'll throw you a little comment replying to your comment, and then I'll ask you to go on and send me an email to retiredcopsrule@gmail.com, and then we can communicate back and forth. I can get your address, this and that, and I put them out in the mail the very next day. Very next day they go out in the mail. So
you're on it like a bum on a ham sandwich.
3 to 4 days.
So today we're going to talk about Anthony Todt. Now I did an effed up murder of the week, but let's dig a little deeper into this Todt family. So Anthony Todt and his wife, physical therapist. You ever have physical therapy?
I did one time, on my knee. Yep.
Okay.
After a crash.
And they do. Did they do this?
No. They range of motion exercises, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Anthony Todt was arrested and convicted just recently, last week?
Yeah.
And so let's talk about back in 2019. I don't know what happened, but he and his wife started looking at these end of the world apocalyptic videos, and some people are very susceptible
They are.
to other people's suggestions.
Just like the conspiracy theorists,
Hey, I mean, I love a good conspiracy.
Yeah, but I mean, some people take it to the extreme.
Right.
They really do.
Exactly. So they were watching these all. It's going to be the end of the world. We're done. All that. And so they figured out, and this was back in 2019, Megan Todt and Anthony Todt, they said, you know what? We need to cross over our entire family. Oops, sorry. So right before Christmas, 2019, they decided that they were going to end the lives of their entire family. they went to bed. Actually, what they first did is they tried Benadryl. They said, okay, we're going to make a pie, and we're going to put a bunch of Benadryl in this pie, and we're going to kill our children so that they would cross over into whatever crossing over is.
Whatever they believed it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Didn't work.
Probably slept a long time though.
Right? Oh, I feel great.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm gonna
great.
sleep for 3 days. I'm sure I'm hungry.
So that didn't work, and then they said,
I'm
okay.
not sneezing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
That's sick cop humor.
well,
I'm sorry.
It's called gallows humor or dark humor, and it's one of those things that it's a coping mechanism that officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors use to get past the shit, really.
And I'm having to cope right now, so I may have a few jokes going on.
Yeah. We've all seen horrible things that we need to get past. So what they decided that, okay, we're going to kill our kids. So they started with the youngest, and they went into the bedroom of their daughter, who was very young. And it took Anthony Todt a while, and his wife was there, and eventually they got up enough gumption.
I was going to say courage.
And what they did is he actually laid on his child and suffocated him.
Oh, my
Her. And she died.
Jesus.
And then they went to the next child. And so they're physical therapists. So they know that there is a vein or an artery right in here that will let somebody bleed out relatively quick. And so they stabbed this child while the wife was holding down the legs. The husband, Anthony Todt, was laying on him and stabbing the child and suffocating them. I don't get how you are so involved in the end of the world that you think that this is okay. And they did this with 3 children.
That just makes me sick to my stomach.
It doesn't it though? It's like,
Thanks, dude. You ruined my buzz.
you're welcome.
Jesus.
Wow. Yeah.
Holy shit.
We are opening up our world to our visitors. This is the shit that we see.
Yeah, I know. And when you see it and you arrive on the scene and you go and you look at something like this and you see all these babies laying there dead, you wonder why cops need counseling and are screwed up. I mean, this is, yeah. Wow.
We did an episode with Mark DeBona
And Jeff Wilbur.
on officer suicide, and it is a true thing because a lot of officers do not know how to
Cope.
Let's go with cope.
Yeah.
Because you've seen some shit, I've seen some shit, and it's tough. It is.
Tell you a quick story. I went to a scene one time. I showed up, and it was a traffic homicide out on one of the interstates. And I get there, and I thought it was just laundry all over the road. I thought somebody had dropped, laundry or whatever.
Dude, I
get there, and I show up, and it's like 7 different large body parts of a human being that had been run over like 7 times by multiple vehicles, including semi-tractor trailer trucks and all. And I'm just looking at it going, I couldn't even think of if it was real, until I actually saw the head, and everything else.
I was on that scene.
Yeah, but every single the moment that I woke up, I didn't dream about it, which is weird. I did years later, but right afterwards I didn't. But right afterwards, when I would wake up, like the very first thought in my mind for like 2 weeks was that scene and what I had seen out there on that call. And, I told my wife about it. I was like, man, I roll over and I wake up, whatever, you go to the bathroom. And I for the first like 2 minutes of my waking moment was that scene. And some officers, they can't deal with that, and it gets to them.
It
Then they
does.
go to the next call. and the next call, and the next call, and it just keeps building. You know, they say everybody needs, we need counselors to ride with these officers to deal with these people out here on the street.
What about the officers?
The agencies, they'll say if it's a bad scene or whatever, hey, you okay? Do you need to see somebody from EAP? And what's the cop say? No. I'm a tough guy. I don't need to see anybody. And meanwhile, back here, there's crap going on. So
that same
give the
scene.
cops a break, man. They've been through a lot. Give these cops, out here, before you turn on these cops and everything, give them a break, man. A lot of these cops have been through hell and back about 100 times. So give them a break.
I was on that same...
Sorry, jumped on that horse. Sorry.
I was on that same scene, and what was it, 20, 30 years ago?
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't even a sergeant. I was a patrolman.
And I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, I can remember blue jeans. She had a blue striped top on. I can remember finding pieces of her teeth and everything else down the road. I mean, I remember everything about that.
I remember you could actually track her brain coming out of her head and rolling to where...
Yeah, and then the pieces of it.
Yep.
You get so immune to it. You see it
you
so
do,
much.
You do get immune to it.
It doesn't bother
You're like, why is that bothering you?
I mean, it does bother you, but you don't realize it bothers you.
You put it in a little box.
It is.
As a detective, I worked child pornography cases, and I have to put that in a box.
Yeah.
And just all these things.
Absolutely.
So, anyway.
Guys. Took a big side turn there. Sorry.
But I think it's important because if you know an officer, if you know somebody who's in this shit, they may look, hey, I'm great. Understand that there's shit behind that.
Oh, yeah.
Give them a hug. Tell them, you know what? I love you. It's okay.
I'm always here for you if you want somebody to talk to. Look for the signs, guys. They start pulling away from the family. They start sitting outside by themselves. They start drinking a little bit too much, more than they used to. They start not wanting to go to family events, family parties. Look for the signs, guys. If you don't know what the signs are, talk to somebody like a Mark DeBona or somebody else. Text me. Comment. I will put you in touch with Mark personally, and he can tell you about some of these signs through his organization. All right.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about, we're going to continue on.
He killed the kids.
So he killed the kids, and after they've killed the children, the wife's like, you know what? Okay, now it's our turn.
Right.
And the wife starts stabbing herself, and it doesn't quite do the work. So he has to step in and finish her off. So, whole family dead. And then he's like, it's my turn. And he doesn't kill himself. He says later in the trial, I tried 10 times to kill myself. Dude, you can kill yourself if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Even without a gun. I mean, come on, really? Seriously?
Right, yeah. So this happened right before Christmas 2019. What he ends up doing is moving the entire family into the master bedroom. Wife, 3 children, him, master bedroom. And they're all laying in the master bedroom until January sometime. Just decaying.
Oh, my God.
But
how did this all start?
So, interestingly enough, this guy, a physical therapist, was committing Medicare fraud. When
was that?
This started in 2015.
Okay.
And what he was doing was, let's say LT got in a car crash.
Right.
And he needed it, and his insurance company or Medicare said, you know what? You need to see physical therapy 2 times a week.
Right.
And he's like, showing up. Well, this guy was billing for 5 times a week. Or
overbilling.
Or if you said, okay, I'm finished, I'm good, he would keep billing you. So he was overbilling. And
Feds get involved?
the FBI was actually interviewed him, and he confessed. He said, yep, I did it. My wife was not involved. And they said, hey, because it's a property crime, it's an economic crime, it's not a violent crime, they give him a chance. They said, hey, get an attorney, get all your shit together,
Right.
Because we're going to drop charges pretty soon. And
Drop charges meaning file charges on him pretty soon.
yeah. So January 2020 rolls around, FBI, and it was weird because kind of the FBI and the family said, hey, we have not heard from our family in a while. We want a well-being check. Tell us about a well-being check.
So usually you get a call from an interested party, usually a family member, close friend, something like that. Clergy, counselor, something like that. Call the police department and say, hey, this person, whoever it is, I talk to them every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. They didn't answer. I tried the next morning. They didn't answer. They're not answering the phone. I'm leaving messages. They're not answering the phone. Police will go out. Usually people only wait a few hours, especially if it's an elderly person. They'll of an advanced age. They'll only wait a couple hours.
Let the fire department go first.
Yeah. And then we usually go out, and what you do is you go out and knock on the door. Nobody answers the door. You look through all the windows. You're checking the best you can. Nobody else, and you start calling the neighbors. Hey, have you seen them in the next couple of days? Or knocking on the neighbors' doors. All before you bust in the door. Obviously, if you see somebody in there laying on the ground or something, you're going to break down the door, have the fire department come in and open the door and go in. But yeah, that's what a well-being check is. You're just out there to check on the well-being.
So
Nakatomi Plaza, Die Hard.
right, well-being check.
It was an alarm, but he was just doing a well-being check for the alarm.
I've had guns pointed at me.
Oh man,
I've had all that shit. But you know what the scaredest, is that right? Most scared I've ever been was on a well-being check. So I get there, well-being check, elderly lady.
Ooh.
And I get there, and the neighbors are there at the same time. Doors unlocked. We're like, okay. Right. We go in. And the neighbors go off to the left, and I go to the right, and the right happens to be the master bedroom. And I see an elderly lady. She has to be 70. And she's sitting in a chair.
Hey!
It's close to you. And she's sitting in a chair half dressed. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, she passed away. She took a shower, get dressed. Right, so honest to God, I'm reaching in. I'm like, she's dead. And I'm reaching in. And she's like this, right? She goes, ah! As I'm reaching in, right? And I go, ah! She scared the shit out of me. Honestly, she really scared. But
sorry, guys, if I blew your speakers out of your earbuds. Sorry, I had his volume all the way up.
I apologize. But honestly, I'm reaching in. She's was scared. She scared me. Most scared I've ever been.
That is pretty bad.
Anyway, so back to Anthony Todt. Killed his entire family, helped his wife pass on. He says, I tried to kill myself 12 times. Couldn't do it. FBI gets there. Local law enforcement, Osceola County Sheriff's Office gets there about the same time. And they're like, hey, we need to check on this family. And they go in. And the one deputy who was on the stand, he says, as soon as we walked in, we could smell death.
Of course.
He didn't say death. He said a sign of decomposition.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
He's like, yeah, that's death.
And Osceola County, for those of you that want to know without looking it up, that is the county that basically borders and is part of Disney World, south of Orlando and the
Kissimmee
Disney World
area. Yeah.
Yep, Kissimmee and all that.
So deputy says, yeah, we smell death. And when they, hey, anybody in here? And I'm in here, and they call him down, they cuff him, and they proceed to search the house, and they found the entire family deceased. And
he was in there?
He was in there the entire time.
No, I know, but I mean, when they went in to do the well-being, he was in the house then?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the thing is, so the family, there's okay, we've got one dead body, we got the wife, and they can't find the little girl, the youngest, and they're like, where the frick? And so they start peeling off blankets and stuff, and they find a little child just dead. And I can't imagine the grief that these officers are going through.
Gee.
You know, I always tell my students, you know, they always tell me, "Hey, Mr. Long, what's the worst thing you've ever seen?" And what's worst case? And they always think it's like some shooting or some murder, and it's children.
Oh, it's a dead baby.
It is.
It is. It always is.
It always is.
No matter what, a dead baby.
And they don't expect that.
No, a dead baby or child or a female. To me, that is the absolute worst. You know, guys, okay, yeah, it's bad, but man, whatever, they're a guy. I mean, I'm talking about an adult guy. I mean, but yeah, babies, children of any gender, just oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
So they put the habeas corpus on this guy, and they take him to investigations, and he confesses the whole thing. He says, "Yep, we were watching these videos on end of the world, apocalypse, and we need to have our family cross over." You know what? Guess what else they killed? Family dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, well, we need our dog with us."
Well, he would have started eating them anyway, and eventually.
But the thing is,
Jeez.
and I was showing this to my students, and I'm like, "Well, if you're going to cross over, you want your pooch with you, right?"
God.
So they killed the family dog also, and he confesses to everything. He said that we did this, and last week before, he's on trial, and he takes a stand, and guess what he does? Blames his wife for the whole thing.
Of course. Well, number one, he couldn't kill himself. And now he's going to blame his wife.
Yeah. So what
He's a big old wuss is what he is.
100%. So he said, no. I was over at the condo, which is different than the house,
Okay.
and I slept there in my car.
Bullshit.
100% bullshit. While my wife was killing my children. And then when he got to the house, she said, "Oh, I killed the children." So he went room to room, and he finds his daughter dead. And instead of checking on all the other children, he's like, "Well, I grabbed a cloth and wiped her mouth." If you how many kids do you have?
I have 4.
Right. So let's say that you found that your first one was dead. Would you immediately go to check the other ones?
I would probably check her condition to see if I could save her life.
Right.
But then know that she's dead. I would immediately go and check all the other kids.
No. He grabs a towel
And wipes her mouth. No.
Wipes her mouth.
Yeah, that's BS.
Yeah.
Total
And then
BS.
goes to the next one, wipes his mouth. No. You go in and you say, maybe one of them are alive.
Okay, go ahead.
So just to let you know, he was, even though he took the stand, and he was he should never have taken the stand. Shitty job taking the stand. I use this in my class as to how not to let your client take the stand. Bad. So the jury found him guilty of all of his 3 kids and his wife and his dog.
Cruelty to animals.
Right, yes. He got convicted. Life sentence, child, life sentence, child, life sentence, child, life sentence, wife, 1 year, cruelty to animal, because it's 1 year, maximum sentence. So yeah, he will spend, and the judge made it concurrent, back to back to back.
So when he does one, he's got to start the next. Does the next, got to start the next. If you ran them all together, he could get out eligible for parole in 25 years.
Well, we don't have Florida. We don't have parole in Florida, so he's dying in prison. So yeah, he's done. Anyway, that's Dr. Hughes. No, shit. Anthony Todt. That is the Anthony Todt case. Piece of.
Let us know what you think, guys, and give us some comments below. And here's the deal. Hey, guess what's coming up? The Casey Anthony case.
I know that John is actually, you know why he's not here? He's working on
one of the reason he said that while while he's on this little, vacation and off time from the show, he is going to be doing research on the Casey Anthony show, or Casey Anthony case for the show. That's going to be most likely a two-parter, guys. That's going to be a premiere show. That was a huge case that lasted forever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Oh, great case.
And of course, she was found not guilty because the prosecution did not do their job. But anyway, we'll get into all that. You don't want to miss the Casey Anthony show coming up in the month of May. You don't want to miss that. Trust me.
Yep. Anyway, love you guys. Make sure and send us a comment in the YouTube. Send us an email in retiredcopsrule@gmail.com. And as always, remember, at Surviving the Badge,
We still got your 6.
six.
Thanks, guys.